The Cuckoo and the Nightingale, from Chaucer, by William Wordsworth. I, the God of love, benedicite. How mighty and how great a Lord is he! For he of low hearts can make high, of high he can make low, and unto death bring nigh, and hard hearts he can make them kind and free. Too within a little time, as hath been found, he can make sick folk whole and fresh and sound. Them who are whole in body and in mind, he can make sick, bind can he and unbind all that he will have bound, or have unbound. 3. To tell his might my wit may not suffice. Foolish men he can make them out of wise, for he may do all that he will devise. Loose livers he can make abate their vice, and proud hearts can make tremble in a trice. In brief, the whole of what he will, he may. Against him dare not any wight say nay. To humble or afflict whome'er he will, to gladden or to grieve, he hath like skill, but most his might he sheds on the eve of May. For every true heart, gentle heart and free, that with him is, or thinketh so to be, now against May shall have some stirring whether to joy, or be it to some mourning. Never at other time, methinks, in like degree. For now when they may hear the small bird's song, and see the budding leaves the branches throng, this unto their remembrance doth bring all kinds of pleasure mixed with sorrowing, and longing of sweet thoughts that ever long. 7. And of that longing heaviness doth come, whence oft great sickness grows of heart and home. Sick are they all for lack of their desire, and thus in May their hearts are set on fire, so that they burn forth in great martyrdom. 8. In sooth, I speak from feeling, what though now old am I, and to genial pleasure slow, yet have I felt of sickness through the May, both hot and cold, and heart aches every day, how hard, alas, to bear, I only know. Such shaking doth the fever in me keep through all this May that I have little sleep, and also 'tis not likely unto me, that any living heart should sleepy be in which love's dart its fiery point doth steep. But tossing lately on a sleepless bed, I of a token thought which lovers heed, how among them it was a common tale, that it was good to hear the nightingale, ere the vile cuckoo's note be uttered. 11. And then I thought anon as it was day, I gladly would go somewhere to essay if I perchance a nightingale might hear, for yet had I heard none, of all that year, and it was then the 3rd night of the May. 12. And soon as I a glimpse of day espied, no longer would I in my bed abide, but straightway to a wood that was hard by. Forth did I go, alone and fearlessly, and held the pathway down by a brookside. 13. Till to a lawn I came all white and green, I in so fair a one had never been. The ground was green, with daisy powdered over. Tall were the flowers, the grove a lofty cover, all green and white, and nothing else was seen. 14. There sat I down among the fair fresh flowers, and saw the birds come tripping from their bowers, where they had rested them all night, and they, who were so joyful at the light of day, began to honor May with all their powers. 15. Well did they know that service all by rote, and there was many and many a lovely note, some singing loud, as if they had complained, some with their notes another manner feigned, and some did sing all out with the full throat. 16. They pruned themselves, and made themselves right gay, dancing and leaping light upon the spray, and ever 2 and 2 together were, the same as they had chosen for the year, upon St. Valentine's returning day. 17. Meanwhile the stream, whose bank I sat upon, was making such a noise as it ran on accordant to the sweet bird's harmony, methought that it was the best melody which ever to man's ear a passage won. 18. And for delight, but how I never wot, I in a slumber and a swoon was caught, not all asleep and yet not waking wholly, and as I lay, the cuckoo, bird unholy, broke silence, or I heard him in my thought. 19. And that was right upon a tree fast by, and who was then ill satisfied but I? Now, God, quoth I, that died upon the rood, from thee and thy base throat, keep all that's good, full little joy have I now of thy cry. And, as I with the cuckoo thus, gone chide, in the next bush that was me fast beside, I heard the lusty nightingale so sing, that her clear voice made a loud rioting, echoing thorough all the green wood wide. 21. Good sweet nightingale, for my heart's cheer, hence hast thou stayed a little while too long, for we have had the sorry cuckoo here, and she hath been before thee with her song. Evil light on her. She hath done me wrong. 22. But hear you now a wondrous thing, I pray, as long as in that swooning fit I lay, methought I wist right well what these birds meant, and had good knowing both of their intent, and of their speech, and all that they would say. 23. The nightingale thus in my hearing spake, Good cuckoo, seek some other bush or brake, and, prithee, let us that can sing dwell here. For every wight eschews thy song to hear, such uncouth singing verily dost thou make. 24 What, quoth she then, what is it that ails thee now? It seems to me I sing as well as thou, for mine's a song that is both true and plain, although I cannot quaver so in vain as thou dost in thy throat, I wot not how. 25 All men may understanding have of me, but, Nightingale, so may they not of thee, for thou hast many a foolish and quaint cry. Thou sayst O sea, then how may I have knowledge, I thee pray, what this may be? 26 Ah, fool, quoth she, wist thou not what it is? Oft as I say O sea, I wis, then mean I, that I should be wondrous fain that shamefully they won and all were slain, whoever against love mean aught amiss. 27 And also would I that they all were dead, who do not think in love their life to lead. For who is loath the God of love to obey, is only fit to die, I dare well say, and for that cause O sea I cry, take heed. 28 I, quoth the Cuckoo, that is a quaint law, that all must love or die, but I withdraw, and take my leave of all such company, for mine intent it neither is to die, nor ever while I live love's yoke to draw. 29 For lovers of all folk that be alive, the most disquiet have and least do thrive. Most feeling have of sorrow, woe and care, and the least welfare cometh to their share. What need is there against the truth to strive? XXX What, quoth she, thou art all out of thy mind, that in thy churlishness a cause canst find to speak of love's true servants in this mood, for in this world no service is so good to every wight that gentle is of kind. 31 For thereof comes all goodness and all worth, all gentilesse and honor thence come forth. Thence worship comes, content and true heart's pleasure, and full assured trust, joy without measure, and jollity, fresh cheerfulness, and mirth. 32 And bounty, lowliness, and courtesy, and seemliness, and faithful company, and dread of shame that will not do amiss. For he that faithfully loves servant as, rather than be disgraced, would choose to die. 33 And that the very truth it is which I now say in such belief I'll live and die. And Cuckoo, do thou so, by my advice. Then, quoth she, let me never hope for bliss, if with that counsel I do e'er comply. 34 Good Nightingale, thou speakest wondrous fair, yet for all that, the truth is found elsewhere. For love in young folk is but rage, I wis, and love in old folk a great dotage is. Who most it useth, him, 'twill most impair. 35 For thereof come all contraries to gladness. Thence sickness comes, and overwhelming sadness, mistrust and jealousy, despite, debate, dishonor, shame, envy importunate, pride, anger, mischief, poverty, and madness. 36 Loving is I an office of despair, and one thing is therein which is not fair. For whoso gets of love a little bliss, unless it always stay with him, I wis he may full soon go with an old man's hair. 37 And, therefore, Nightingale, do thou keep nigh, for trust me well, in spite of thy quaint cry. If long time from thy mate thou be, or far, thou be as others that forsaken are. Then shalt thou raise a clamour as do I. 38 Fie, quoth she, on thy name, bird ill beseen. The God of love afflict thee with all teen, for thou art worse than mad 1,000-fold, for many a one hath virtues manifold, who had been not, if love had never been. 39 For evermore his servants love amendeth, and he from every blemish them defendeth, and maketh them to burn, as in a fire, in loyalty, and worshipful desire, and, when it likes him, joy enough them sendeth. XL Thou Nightingale, the Cuckoo said, be still, for love no reason hath but his own will, for to th untrue he oft gives ease and joy. True lovers doth so bitterly annoy, he lets them perish through that grievous ill. XLI With such a master would I never be, for he, in sooth, is blind, and may not see, and knows not when he hurts and when he heals. Within this court full seldom truth avails, so diverse in his wilfulness is he. XLII Then of the Nightingale did I take note, how from her inmost heart a sigh she brought, and said, Alas, that ever I was born, not one word have I now, I am so forlorn, and with that word, she into tears burst out. XLII Alas, alas, my very heart will break, quoth she, to hear this churlish bird thus speak of love, and of his holy services. Now, God of love, thou help me in some wise, that vengeance on this Cuckoo I may wreak. XLIV And so methought I started up anon, and to the brook I ran and got a stone, which at the Cuckoo heartily I cast, and he for dread did fly away full fast, and glad, in sooth, was I when he was gone. XLV And as he flew, the cuckoo, ever and I, kept crying, farewell. Farewell, popinjay, as if in scornful mockery of me, and on I hunted him from tree to tree, till he was far, all out of sight, away. Xlvi then straightway came the nightingale to me, and said, Forsooth, my friend, do I thank thee, that thou wert near to rescue me, and now, unto the God of love the first make a vow, that all this may I will thy songstress be. Xlvi well satisfied, I thanked her, and she said, By this mishap no longer be dismayed, though thou the cuckoo heard, ere thou heardst me. Yet if I live it shall amended be, when next May comes, if I am not afraid. Xlvii and one thing will I counsel thee also, the cuckoo trust not thou, nor his love saw. All that she said is an outrageous lie. Nay, nothing shall me bring thereto. Quoth I, for love, and it hath done me mighty woe. Xlix yea, hath it? Use, quoth she, this medicine. This Maytime, every day before thou dine, go look on the fresh daisy. Then say I, although for pain thou mayst be like to die, thou wilt be eased, and less wilt droop and pine. Tell in mind always that thou be good and true, and I will sing one song, of many. New, for love of thee, as loud as I may cry. And then did she begin this song full high, beshrew all them that are in love untrue. Li and soon as she had sung it to the end, now farewell, quoth she, for I hence must wend. And, God of love, that can right well and may, send unto thee as mickle joy this day, as ever he to lover yet did send. Lee thus takes the nightingale her leave of me. I pray to God with her always to be, and joy of love to send her evermore, and shield us from the cuckoo and her lore, for there is not so false a bird as she. Lii forth then she flew, the gentle nightingale, to all the birds that lodged within that dale, and gathered each and all into one place, and them besought to hear her doleful case, and thus it was that she began her tale. Live the cuckoo, 'tis not well that I should hide how she and I did each the other chide, and without ceasing, since it was daylight. And now I pray you all to do me right of that false bird whom love cannot abide. Lv then spake one bird, and full assent all gave, this matter asketh counsel good as grave, for birds we are all here together brought, and, in good sooth, the cuckoo here is not, and therefore we a parliament will have. Lvi and thereat shall the eagle be our lord, and other peers whose names are on record. A summons to the cuckoo shall be sent, and judgment there be given, or that intent failing, we finally shall make accord. Lvii and all. This shall be done, without a nay, the morrow after St. Valentine's Day, under a maple that is well beseen, before the chamber window of the Queen, at Woodstock, on the meadow green and gay. Lvii she thanked them, and then her leave she took, and flew into a hawthorn by that brook, and there she sat and sung upon that tree, for term of life love shall have hold of me, so loudly, that I with that song awoke. Unlearned book and rude, as well I know, for beauty thou hast none, nor eloquence, who did on thee the hardiness bestow to appear before my lady. But a sense thou surely hast of her benevolence, whereof her hourly bearing proof doth give, for of all good she is the best alive. Alas, poor book, for thy unworthiness, to show to her some pleasant meanings writ in winning words, since through her genteeless, thee she accepts as for her service fit. Oh, it repents me I have neither wit nor leisure unto thee more worth to give, for of all good she is the best alive. Beseech her meekly with all lowliness, though I be far from her I reverence, to think upon my truth and steadfastness, and to abridge my sorrow's violence, caused by the wish, as knows your sapience, she of her liking proof to me would give, for of all good she is the best alive. L'envoy pleasures aurora, day of gladsomeness, Luna by night, with heavenly influence illumined, root of beauty and goodness, right, and allay, by your beneficence, my sighs breathed forth in silence, comfort. Give, since of all good, you are the best alive. Explicit.